is offered as a general source of information only. Contents are not intended as a solicitation to buy or sell specific investments or to provide tax, legal, or investment advice. Always seek advice on your specific circumstances from your financial advisor. Views of guest speakers may not be shared by Cory Vance or Arctic Fox Financial, Inc. Good morning, everybody. It's 8:01 here in Alberta Mountain Time, and welcome to the very first episode or occurrence or whatever you want to call it of Monday Morning Mindset Masterclass. I'm Coach Cory Vance, and I'm here with my special guest. I'm pointing that direction because that's where my screen is. Coty Walker, the amazing Coty Walker. She's a certified life and health coach with What If You Fly Coaching. Thank you so much for being here this morning, Coty, on this inaugural edition of Monday Morning Mindset Masterclass.
Thank you, Cory. I'm super excited to be here with you today. I love how you keep getting me out of my comfort zone every couple of weeks. So I have an idea. Let's do this. And I'm like, okay. Love it. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. So a little bit of backstory on that. Coty is leaving this in like 7 days, 8 days for Greece. She's hosting a retreat, and we'll get into that more in a minute. But I approached her last week and I was like, can we talk real quick? She's like, not today. I'm like, okay. How about tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. So Thursday last week, we had a brief conversation. I said, here's my idea. She said, great, let's do it. And so we recorded the quick intro video that you might have seen a couple days ago on your socials promoting this event. So hello, everybody. I'm here with Coty Walker. Thanks, Coty. I might get this little shake here. I just want to announce that this coming Monday, May the 5th, Coty and I are going to be live on multiple platforms. We're going to introduce my new segment called Monday Morning Mindset Masterclass. Coty will be my first guest, and I'm so honored and excited to have her. And so come on out, watch out for the notices of that, and hear what we have to say and what she has to say about starting your week off right.
Yes, hope to see you there. Super excited. Thank you, Cory, and see you Monday.
And so here we are, just like that. So
yeah, and if I look like a deer in the headlights, it's because Cory didn't give me any right there. So.
Well, I apologize for that, but at the same time too, I know you're quite capable on the fly, and I know you know your subject matter, so I wasn't too worried. But I do have 3 sort of thoughts prepared to share if necessary. But if we don't have time for that, that's okay. I just want to start a conversation about mindset and helping people to start their day off right, start their week off right with the right mindset. And I knew you were the person to help me do that. So so thanks again. So why don't we just start by introducing a little bit about you. People on my channel probably know me. I've put a bunch of videos out in the last couple weeks, bunch of short videos every day for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So people are starting to get to know me, but they probably don't know you. At least my people don't know you as well. So maybe can you just give us a quick introduction about who you are and what you do, and go from there?
Yes, of course. My name is Coty Walker. I'm a certified health and life coach, and I'm also a certified Clarity Catalyst mindset trainer. And that means that I work with people in periods of life transitions, people going through divorces, separations, career transitions, empty nesters, or basically anybody that wants to identify something that is stopping them from living the life of their dreams, so that we can identify what it is that is not allowing them to move forward and put the steps in place to move forward, to overcome that. Besides that, I do one-on-one meetings, sessions with people, but I also do courses, group courses, my Clarity Catalyst course that you have taken, Cory. And I know that you're quite a big advocate for it. So thank you for that. And now I'm starting to do retreats. So my next retreat is coming up, starting May 15 in Greece. I want to do bucket list locations so that people can combine a little bit of the culture of the country, a little bit of the beauty, and at the same time work a bit on their own personal growth.
That's amazing. And I know when you first proposed that or announced that last year, I was like, man, that sounds so amazing. I'd love to go to Greece and be in that beautiful environment and sort of get that recharge and reset. And I thought that'd be amazing. And just with everything that I have going on this year, it didn't work out for me this year, but my girlfriend Melanie is going and she's super excited. She leaves Friday for a little pre-class, tourism kind of thing there. She's a travel blogger and whatnot. So I know she's super excited about it, and I'm sure everyone that's going is super excited about it. So that's fantastic. So can you maybe tell a little bit about, so your company is called What If You Fly Coaching. Why did you name it that way? Because I know that's part of your origin story as far as coaching. Can you share a little bit about that and why you chose that name and why that's important to you as part of your journey?
Yes. I'm going to try to make the long story short, but I went through a period of transformation in my life where I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I come from a corporate career of almost 20 years in the corporate world in digital marketing. And I got to a point where I was, questioning what is my purpose? If this is it, if life ends, have I lived my purpose? And then COVID came. And that made me reflect even more. So at that point, I decided, okay, it's now or never. So I have to change, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And at that point, it would have been very useful to have a coach to help me transition to the other side. But I didn't have anybody. So through COVID, there were lots of seminars. There were lots of things that, I was able to join, and they made me think and reflect on what are the possible paths that I could take. I finally decided to become a coach. It was between that or go into psychology, but I really wanted to help move people forward instead of, just kind of going into the past and, kind of just looking like I really wanted the results that coaching gives you that moves you forward quite quickly. So I decided to become a coach, and it was and I was terrified of failure. It was like, can I, like all these questions in my head. And one night I couldn't sleep. And it is like 4:00 in the morning, and this thought of what if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail kept coming back to me. And all of a sudden, as I'm falling asleep, I hear a voice in my head that says, but, there's a poem of Eric Hansen that I love that it just says, but, it has the line, what if you fail? But then it says, but my darling, what if you fly? So that just kind of woke me up. And then I finally was able to fall asleep, finally get out of bed at 10:00 in the morning. My husband took care of the kids in that morning because they had to go to school. And when I got up, I told him, everything. I hadn't really told him that I had decided to become a coach yet. And I was terrified of what he was going to think or what he was going to say. And then he looked at me and he goes, So I told him about the lines of the poem, and then he looks at me and he goes, what if you fly coaching? That sounds like a great name for your business. And I was like, yes. So that's how it came to be. Oh, Cory, you are muted.
Well, for some people, that's the best part of the show is when I'm muted. But anyway, I hope not. But anyway, yeah, I was saying Wade is a great guy, and I'm not surprised he encouraged you that way. And I know he's very supportive of you and all that you do. And that's fantastic. That's quite a story. You said something there that actually is part of my origin story too. And I certainly don't want this to be all about me, but I'll sort of share a bit of the backstory of me so that people have maybe that angle they didn't know about me. You said in there, I was terrified of failure. And, I grew up in I didn't grow up in a van down by the river, but I grew up in a very simple family, lower middle class, in rural Saskatchewan, well, rural, Alberta and rural Saskatchewan. I had some health issues very early on in my life. And I had some scares, that I sort of jokingly say, my life story will be titled, "It's a Wonder I'm Still Alive." But I had several sort of scares early on in life, and so that got my mother very afraid. And being the youngest, of course, I was her favorite. Just kidding. But any of your children, you've got children, Coty. Any of your children, if you risk losing those children, that sort of heightens your fear and anxiety. And so that was where my mother was at. And so all of my growing up, I was overprotected, and she was afraid if something was going to happen to me. So I became afraid of everything. And I was terrified of trying new things. I was afraid of getting injured. I was afraid of dying. I was afraid of everything. And so I understand what you say when you mean, what you mean when you say you were terrified of failure. I've been terrified of things most of my life. And so I went from this little town in rural Saskatchewan. Actually, it was like outside of a rural town. So it was like a hamlet of like 20 people to 50 people population outside of a small town of 10,000. I moved from there to I ended up in Vancouver, British Columbia, which at the time was about 2 million population. And I later moved to St. Louis, Missouri, which had about 4 million population. And so there were lots of chances for me to sort of grow and expand and challenge myself. And I realized, I had to actively try to overcome those fears, or I was going to just be stuck in this little shell, right? And from a young age, I wanted to travel. I wanted to do different things. I had dreams, right? But I was afraid. So yeah, it was quite a journey for me to kind of go from there to where I am today. And I have more to go for sure. But a lot of people, to bring this back around, a lot of people do struggle with fear, right? Whether it's anxiety, whether it's like fear of, people fear public speaking, people fear death, people fear being, failing, right? Being embarrassed. There's lots of fears that people have. And those obviously keep people from living a life that they really want to have. So I know that's something that comes up a lot with you, with your clients. And I know we talked about that in the Clarity Catalyst course that I absolutely love that course, by the way. And I'm not just saying that. We went through that, I think it was in the fall. And just such a blur now. Yeah, it was in the fall because actually it was through that course that I decided to leave my previous, I won't say employer because I was self-employed, but my previous professional connections, and to strike out on my own and form my own agency, and to formalize becoming a coach and a business coach and entrepreneurial coach. And so I owe a lot of that to you and to the Clarity Catalyst course. So so thank you for that. But I want you to share a bit about that, but I also want to ask you just about how your experience with your clients in overcoming fear. Like, what are some of the things that common or uncommon that people, that sort of keeps them stuck in their fear, and what's maybe one thing that, or two things or whatever, you feel like sharing can help people get out of their fear and kind of open up into a new kind of a life that they want?
That's a great question, Cory. And fear is a theme I absolutely love. And I think that the most important thing, especially for my clients, is that when they understand that fear is something normal, okay? We all experience fear. If we wouldn't experience fear, we will be completely out of that, the normal. Fear is actually your brain trying to keep you safe. So it's something that we have to have. Otherwise, we will self-destroy. At the same time, it's something that keeps us stuck. It's something that keeps us from trying something new. So with my clients, a couple of the things that are the most important, first of all, is to take action. It's actually something, confidence in something that you can build. And if you take action, and it doesn't have to be huge things, but start little. do one thing that is little every day that will put you out of your comfort zone. And when I became a coach, I was fascinated whenever I was studying. I loved all the subject matters and everything until I realized that I was actually going to have to get my own clients. How do I do that? I have to put myself out there. I have to become more vulnerable, maybe start making videos, which is something like public speaking. Oh my God. You said fear of death is kind of goes hand in hand with fear of public speaking. Yeah. And that was me as well. But then you start little, and I made the conscious decision to never say no in those kind of things. As like when you tell me, like, I'm going to try this for the first time, do you want to do it with me? My stomach just kind of tenses. And then I go, yes, of course I do. And here I am, right? So it's about facing that little by little, over and over again, until, it becomes more normal and you feel better. But the second thing that I think is the most important, well, just as important, is reframing what failure is. Because we are afraid to fail, mostly. We're afraid to look ridiculous. We're afraid to not make a good impression. So all of that is failure, right? And what is failure? If we start thinking of failure just as feedback of a lesson that we need to learn so that we can improve, things change. Because then we're more willing to try whatever we need to try so that we can continue growing. To me, that is one of the key things. That's one of the most important things.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's funny you say that because, I didn't state this a minute ago, but because I was trying to get off of me and back to the real important part of the subject here, which is everyone up there who's looking for help. But action, confidence. Sorry, let me come back to action in a second. You said confidence is something you can build, and I think that's so important. And that's for me, like, and I didn't even plan it this way. I just, like, in my journey to overcome my fear of everything, I just sort of started being attracted to the idea of boldness, right? And that goes along with confidence, right? And you can parse those out, or we could argue about that or whatever, but really they're kind of two versions of the same thing, which is, becoming bold and becoming confident and becoming, like you say, never saying no, right? I mean, obviously there's certain things we should say no to, but opportunities, like I love that movie, Yes Man, right, with Jim Carrey. Saying yes to everything, it changes the whole flow of your life. So I love that. Confidence is something you can build. And you said, take action, right? Take action is the third thing that I have here to talk about today, that I have had prepared. And so I'm glad you brought it up because it's so important to me. But that's awesome. And then these are things that in the Clarity Catalyst program, you help people, to get clear, right, on what they want and what sort of direction they want to go or could go with their life. And then you help them to actually take action on that. So that's fantastic. Cool. So we talked a bit earlier about the Greece. You have this retreat coming up in Greece, and I think you have another one planned. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but you have another one planned down the road for the next one. We talked about that offline. Can you tell us a little bit about this retreat and sort of what sort of inspired it and what someone can learn there, and if there's possibly chance to still go if someone's a last minute jump on the opportunity sort of person that they could participate in that?
Yeah, my retreating coming up is one wonderful week in Greece. Is designed to get people to relax in a beautiful setting, reconnect with themselves, and break some of the patterns that are holding them back so that they can come back with concrete goals, especially if they are entrepreneurs or just for everybody, right? With concrete goals and a plan on taking action, new energy, For us, it's very important, and I say us because we are 3 coaches putting this retreat together. It's very important to have a good connection between mind and body. So we're going to start every retreat with yoga on the beach, with breath work, meditation. Then there's self-development through the day. But it's also for us important that they come back relaxed and feeling that they have had a holiday as well. So we're finishing things at about 3 p.m. and so that they can enjoy, the beautiful surroundings, the island, go for walks, go lie on the beach, go to town and visit the nice restaurants, whatever it is that they want to do.
I love that, breaking some patterns, creating some new energy, creating a plan of action and connecting mind and body. Those are all things that I think are amazing. And, the breath work you mentioned, yoga, 2 things I wish I did more of and was better at. So I wish I was going for that reason alone, but hopefully you'll deal with those in the next retreat where I hopefully can be a part of.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Cool. So you've shared a couple of things that people can do to help sort of move themselves forward out of fear and into, sort of a new mindset. And today this is Monday Morning Mindset Masterclass, so that's fantastic. So for people out there who feel like, I'm not really a fearful person, I'm not really an anxious person, but there's some things I wish were different in my life, or there's some things I want to develop in, or some things I want to achieve, or however they might word that. What's, sort of 1 or 2 things that someone like that could maybe do to sort of start to move in a new direction in even their mindset or in their life?
That's an excellent question. One of the things that I truly believe in, and this is something that I have been trying to refine in my life for the longest time, is how you start your morning, how you start your week sets you up for the rest of the day or sets you up for the rest of the week. If I wake up on Monday morning and I'm hungover, or, if I had a terrible night's sleep and I oversleep until 10 o'clock, or I just feel like my day is ruined, my week doesn't start well.
Mm-hmm.
I try to have a routine in the mornings, especially Mondays. And the reason why I couldn't do the call today at 9 o'clock is that my Monday morning walk with a good friend of mine at 9 o'clock is sacred. So we go out to woods, and this is a person that challenges me. This is a person that I connect very well with, and we have great conversations, and really makes me think and makes me grow. So I go for those walks. We talk. It's almost like therapy, It's just fabulous. We have these great walks. We have these great conversations, and it starts my Monday morning in a beautiful setting, fresh air, exercise. After I have done my breath work in the morning, and I'm back at 10:15, 10:30 in the morning, ready to start my week. Nice. So I would encourage people to find what works for them. And usually what works is not to get up, have a quick shower, have a rush breakfast, and sit in front of your computer. What works for you in terms of how do you connect? How do you balance yourself? How do you give yourself that energy, especially on a Monday morning, to ensure that you feel good that week, that you feel good that day, and that you are the most productive you can be. And I tried many, many things, many things that haven't worked for me, that I did them for a little period of time. This is something that I've been doing for a year now, almost every Monday morning, regardless of the weather.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's funny, you you said 2 things in there. Well, you said lots of things in there, but 2 of the things you said in there really highlight the other 2 things that I had prepared to share today, which is, one is your mindset matters, right? And to be conscious about your mindset, be conscious about how you start your week and how you start your day, right? And you talked about that you know, how you wake up Monday morning determines your whole week, right? If you're a or a Monday to Friday kind of a person, quote unquote, right? And the other thing you said was, you know, you didn't say it exactly this way, but was invest in yourself, right? Take that time for you, find what works for you, and spend that time, right? Don't just rush through everything. You know, be conscious and choose time for yourself and do something that energizes yourself and builds yourself. So that's funny. I'm not surprised really, because that's, you know, we know each other fairly well, and we didn't talk about what you were going to share, what I was going to share, but we both basically came up with the same thing. So
And I try to do the same thing. Actually, I had somebody that I used to go for walks on Friday mornings too. And Friday is like kind of the beginning of my weekend. Like I find that I arrive to Friday and I'm drained. I'm done.
yeah.
So going for that energizing walk again in a beautiful setting, I will go to Glenmore, to the Glenmore Reservoir.
Nice.
You know, in a beautiful setting on Friday morning, it just helped me because it just filled me with positive and wonderful energy for the weekend as well. So that was just beautiful.
That's
I
awesome.
need to do that again.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. Well, you'll get a chance to not only to help others recharge and reset and find new energy, increase. I'm sure you'll have a chance to do that for yourself too. So
Oh, yes.
not that you have to wait till then, but you know, that's coming up soon. So
Just a week to go.
exactly. Cool. Excellent. That's awesome. So is there anything else that's on your mind that you think you want to share or that you want to talk about while we're here? I want to give you as much as the floor as I can.
No, I mean, I love these conversations. I think it's very important to invest in yourself, to take risks, to get out of your comfort zone. I know that, you know, there's a little cliche. People say, oh, do something every day that scares you. Well, it doesn't have to be something every day that scares you, but
Right.
the more you push yourself, the more you're going to grow.
Right.
And what is really, really important is, okay, so if something doesn't turn out the way that you wanted to turn out, you just learn from it. You know, it's just feedback. It is not a reflection of yourself. It's not your reflection of you as a person. It's just something that you have to learn.
That's so good. Yeah, I think that you know, you're right. Like when it comes to like I used to have a very rigid mindset. Like I just thought that life was a certain way. It was always going to be a certain way. And you know, like I just couldn't imagine it being different, right? And you know, when I got married the first time, I thought, well, I just sort of assumed, not that I didn't try, but you know, I just sort of assumed that that would be it, right? It would be for life, right? That's the mindset I grew up in, and that's a great ideal, and that's a great you know, great way to think of things. But you know, when that didn't happen, suddenly things changed. Not to my preference. I realized that what I thought was, you know, okay, my life is going to be like life as I know it is over. It was actually, but it turned out to be in a good way, or at least in many parts that were good. You know, it gave me a chance to learn and grow and figure out who I really am, and what's, you know, like expand my mindset, expand my way of thinking, and expand my horizons. And you know, there's that saying that I think it's not just a Chinese proverb or what it is, but you know, the word for problem, I think it's problem or challenge, is the same word as opportunity in, I think, in Chinese or Japanese, one of those. So you know, like starting to see, like you said, learn from everything, right? Like starting to see things that are on first appearance, you know, very frustrating or not what I wanted or upsetting even. Well, what can I learn from this, right? Maybe I can turn this into something positive, or maybe this can help me to grow in a way that makes me, you know, better human or something, you know.
Exactly.
So it's 8:30 locally here, and so part of my my goal for this Monday Morning Mindset Masterclass is to obviously to impart something useful to people. But it doesn't have to last 2 hours. It might be 15 minutes sometimes. It might be an hour, it might be whatever. So we're not going to, sort of drag this on just to hear ourselves talk. And being that this is the first one, and I don't have this studio thing figured out yet. I don't even know. I forgot to put my background on, and I'm on the wrong camera and everything. So we'll add people in next time. Yeah, it's a learning curve, right? I don't know if you have anything that you want to offer anybody, if you have any opportunities that you want to present to anybody. I know you're going away soon, and if there's anything that you want to offer, I want to give you a chance to talk about that now. And then I have something I have prepared as well. But is there anything that you have that you want to share or offer to people for coming out today or for watching the replay?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't have any programs starting right now or anything like that, but there's always the opportunity to have a chat with me. I offer free consultations. It gives you the possibility to see what a coaching session will be like with me. Those could be a half an hour session to find out something that is stopping you from moving forward, and maybe discussing on some quick steps to help you overcome that. As I am a little bit short of time because I'm leaving on Sunday, what I offer is Wednesday, I have 3 spots open. In the 2 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So if somebody will be interested, but something that I can offer, and I just thought about it, is a Thursday and Friday morning also. Somebody can go for a walk with me at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning in a beautiful setting, and we can use that opportunity to have a good chat. So if you're interested, Wednesday I have some spots, and Thursday and Friday morning for a walk. If you want to walk and chat.
Awesome. And so how will people connect with you for one of those 3 spots or for that walk?
My website, whatifyoufly.ca, or can send me an email, whatifyoufly2 at gmail.com is the number 2, whatifyoufly2 at gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to add, there we go. There's the website there.
Yes.
This is actually a little easier than I thought. So yeah, go to that website there, and there'll be like a booking link. People can.
There is an email form. They can send me an email through that, and we'll arrange something.
Cool. And so Friday morning, obviously in Calgary. Yeah. So unless you're somewhere else in the world and you wanna Zoom chat with Coty on Friday morning from where you're walking.
Thursday or Friday morning in Calgary, Wednesday in Calgary as well. I have a couple of spots through the day.
That's great, and I encourage you guys to take advantage of that. Coty's a great resource. She's a great coach, a great mindset coach, great catalyst coach and trainer. And so I want to say too, just to expand on this a little bit, you do offer, so in the Clarity Catalyst course, that's like, so individuals in a group setting, correct? Yes. And then you also offer one-on-one coaching.
Yes.
Okay, and you also offer coaching for businesses, corporations,
yes,
schools, different.
Sometimes businesses, I'm preparing 2 workshops, one in May and another one in June for a company. And it's just a couple of workshops that they bring me in for an hour and a half. And we do those, or I can deliver the Clarity Catalyst course, which is 8 sessions for a company. And those are great for building culture, building trust, giving employees mindset tools to connect better with the company and also to improve their performance.
And you also do some work. You're certified in youth. I don't want to misword it. But how would you define or characterize that?
It's the same thing. It's the Clarity Catalyst course, but we have 3 audiences, and the course has been modified for the 3. So there's one for adults, the one that you took, the one for corporations, and there's one for teenagers as well, which is kind of probably the most difficult to assemble a group for, But the most important, because if we give those kids at these ages, like at at teenage years, the skills that they need to succeed in life, we're going to have well-adjusted adults, productive employees. Is just so critical. So I am passionate about that one.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I know. Like the song says, it's worded differently, but basically, like between the time I was a young man or a boy to when I became some semi-mature later on, I realized how much my mother really knew. I realized how smart she really was all along, right? And my mom's gone now, but she's one of my big inspirations and part of my why for what I do and how I do it. But yeah, but I appreciate that. For youths, if you're from the Vinny days, my cousin Vinny, they're youths. But yeah, the sooner someone starts to understand how to help themselves, sort of keep a positive mindset and have a forward-looking and open kind of way of looking at the world, the better off they're going to be. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and especially something that helps them overcome anxiety. I think our youth is living with too much pressure, too much anxiety. Yeah. And the mindfulness tools that we provide in these courses are especially designed to overcome that.
Thank you so much, Coty. And so before we go, I also have an offering. And so this is a little bit different. This is something. What I do is, so I sort of wear two hats, three actually, but my two main hats are as a financial advisor and as a business or entrepreneurial coach. And I've sort of put those together a little bit in an offering that I have that's called the 60-day six-figure fast track map. So what that is a plan, if you will, for someone to go from, if you're at six figures in lifestyle now or income, to go to multiple times that. If you're at multiple times that now, multiple six figures, to go to 2 or 3x that or 10x that up into seven figures, etc. If you're at seven-figure lifestyle now, take that 2 or 3x that at minimum, right? But this one specifically is designed for, it could be applied to either one of those, but really it's called the six-figure, right? So if you're want to get into six figures, or you're in six figures and want to multiply that to multi-six-figure lifestyle, this will help you get on the path to do that. So what this is a unique thing I just created, and so if you sign up for this, you get an hour with me of just discovery, just uncovering, what your goals are, what you want to do, what your current opportunities are, your current income, everything like that, what your skills are and all that, and hobbies and everything, and what your goals are, and I take that away and I create this map for how you can go from where you are to where you want to get. And you can start to create that path for yourself together with the report that I put together for you. And you can start to action that within 60 days. And so once the report is ready, we get on the Zoom call and we go through the report. And then from that point, you have some coaching over the next 60 days to help you implement and activate that plan and get you on that path. So, and there's opportunities to unlock additional free coaching with that, depending on the actions that you take along the way. So the value that I've placed on that is based on just my time that I put into that, and what other entrepreneurs have paid me for my time. The value of that is $2,100 or $2,200 plus, and I charging just $357 for that. So that's available only this week. You have 7 days. You have till midnight, Sunday night, or whenever my calendar shows availability on Sunday coming up to book in. So I only have a few spots. I can take 5 people, and it's only this week. After Sunday, there's no more slots available. So I'm going to put that here in the I'm going to just add this and show that. And this is the link for that. So, so get on that, sign up for that. You book in this week with me, that discovery call, and we'll get you on the path to multi six figures or even towards seven figures, depending where you're at right now, within 60 days. So I'm excited to offer that. And this, I normally sell this for $997. Again, its value is over $2,000. So encourage you to take advantage of that. Thank you. It's fantastic, and the people that have gone through it already. When I first launched it a few weeks ago, I'm really excited by sort of even the unexpected opportunities that people are realizing. Wow, I can have this different life that I'm looking forward to. So excited about that. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of Coty's offer. Get into her sphere of influence because she's a fantastic person to know and to have in your corner and to have coaching you. And yeah, is any parting words, Coty? I know you've got 4 minutes and you have to run. Is there anything you want to say or that you've thought of or wished you'd said earlier that you want to
yeah, maybe the only other thing, if you want to be connected with me, but right now is not the time, but you want to receive my newsletters, if you go to my website, whatifyoufly.ca, at the very bottom on the right hand side on the footer, there's a possibility to sign up for my newsletter on Substack. So just drop your email address there, and I'll keep you informed of the things that I'm doing, of some of my offers and some valuable advice.
Go to whatifyoufly.ca, check out Coty's offerings, connect with her, sign up for her newsletter. She's got lots of fantastic stuff to share, and we can leave it at that. I think it's been a fantastic first run here. I'm looking forward to the feedback and the comments, and I know I sort of invited my different audiences to come out, and I invited some people specifically to come out and participate. So I hope you're out there watching or on the replay. And I thank you again, Coty. It's been amazing having you, and for this inaugural run, I appreciate you being here, and look forward to hearing about all the awesome stories that come out of your Greece trip for yourself and for Melanie, my girlfriend who's going, and for the other people I know. And it's going to be awesome. There's an amazing year ahead. Oh, I should mention one final thing before we go. One final thing. Participating in a big event in Calgary in October of this year at a really special location, and that will be announced later. But put that on your radar. October of this year. Just block the whole calendar off. We're gonna have one big event. We're gonna talk more about in the future, but plan to come out for that. If you're an entrepreneur, 3 million plus in revenue, 10 or more employees, this is designed for you, and we're going to impart more of this and even more that I can't even begin to tell you about right now because we're out of time. So thank you again, Coty. Looking forward to that with you, and looking forward to all the engagement that's going to come out of this. So thank you again.
Thank you, Cory. I appreciate it. I want to say to everybody, yes, this event is going to be amazing. Invest in yourself. You're worth it. It's really going to be something you're going to be glad you did. Absolutely. And Cory, again, thank you for having me. Thank you for the support and for keeping me on my toes all the time. Putting me out of my comfort zone. Every time I do that, I grow together with you. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy to make people uncomfortable in a good way. All right. Thanks, Coty. Enjoy your trip if I don't chat with you again, but it's been amazing. Thanks so much. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.